There's a new flashpoint on Capitol Hill this week as well, sounding the alarm over a surge in violence targeting law enforcement. So the House Homeland Security Committee will hold a high-profile hearing called When Badges Become Targets, and they're zeroing in on what they call a growing wave of anti-police rhetoric and real-world attacks. So this follows last week's shooting of 2 National Guard members near the White House, one of those members passing away. Lawmakers say the threats are escalating at every level, federal, state, and local. Joining us now, Mississippi Republican Congressman Michael Guest, who serves on the House Homeland Security Committee and has been closely tracking the rise in threats against law enforcement. Congressman, good morning. So you have said...
Good morning.
Good morning to you. This is an important story, and I'm grateful that you're here this morning because this rise in threats and violence against law enforcement, you claim, this is not just a random crime. It's fueled by political rhetoric that paints especially federal agents as villains. So who do you see as the main culprit here?
Well, first, I want to say that statistical data bears out what we're talking about today, that we have seen statistics, particularly for threats and attacks against federal law enforcement, has escalated dramatically over the last year. DHS reports that physical attacks against ICE agents are up more than 1,000%. And so when we talk about these attacks, these aren't things that we are making up statistics. We have the data to back this up. And I believe a lot of this is driven by the rhetoric on the left. We see members of Congress, we see governors, we see mayors refer to ICE as a terrorist organization, that they're the modern day Gestapo, that they are out rounding up people in the middle of the night, never to be seen again. And so, look, I believe that much of this violence has been fueled by the rhetoric that we have seen come from the far left.
So you have called for some stronger backing as a result, both in public discourse and in concrete policy to help our men and women who are working to keep our country safe. So what changes are you hopeful for as we look ahead now?
Well, a couple things. I'd like to see additional legislation that would provide safeguards for our men and women of law enforcement, additional penalties that would be imposed on anyone who would either threaten a law enforcement officer or attack a law enforcement officer. I'd also like to see Congress use the power of the purse for these cities, these sanctuary cities where their local law enforcement, where they refuse to help to come to the aid of federal law enforcement agencies, that they no longer be eligible for federal funding, for federal grants. Look, if you want to be a sanctuary city, if you want to not support the federal mission to keep our community safe, if that's what you choose to do, you should not be receiving federal dollars to enact those policies. And so I would like to see us, again, use the power of the purse as well as statutory changes to help better protect the men and women who wear the uniform.
I want to touch on this most recent incident, the shooting of these 2 National Guard members near the White House. One has passed away, the other now fighting for his life. So the suspect is reported to be an Afghan national. What questions does that raise in your mind about vetting, security gaps, monitoring for these potential threats as well?
Yeah, first, I do want to let the family of Sarah Beckstrom know she was the National Guard member from West Virginia who was killed. I want to, on behalf of a grateful nation, I want to thank her family for her service, let her family know that her death was not in vain, that her service to her country was admirable, and she is someone who will be held up as others as an example of service to this nation. But you're right, we learned that the gunman in this case was an Afghan national. We are trying to determine the vetting process that allowed him to come into this country. We know that there have been questions raised now for years that many that came in the country through the Afghan program were improperly vetted. We learned that he was actually a visa overstay, that he should not have been in the country. And while he was here in the country, he was radicalized, and he came and drove across country from Washington State to Washington, D.C. to specifically target the men and women, in this case, who wear the military uniform. And so, look, this raises a great deal of questions. It's something that Republicans have been talking about for some period of time. This will elevate that, and I think it is something that the White House is taking seriously. And with President Trump in charge, I think we're going to see a revetting of all those individuals who were previously led in the country.
Yeah, well, clarity is certainly needed here. Congressman Michael Guest, Thank you very much for spelling out your case. We appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am.